The thick jungle air was suffocating, clinging to everything like an unseen force. The scent of damp earth, rotting wood, and something else, something foul, hung in the air. A group of villagers stood in a loose circle, murmuring in hushed voices, their eyes locked on the unmoving figure in the clearing. At first glance, it looked like a leopard, its powerful form sprawled lifelessly across the forest floor. But as the torchlight flickered across its body, a collective gasp rippled through the onlookers. Its golden fur, once sleek and magnificent, was now a writhing, pulsing mass. Parasites, millions of them, crawled across its body, feeding off its flesh, burrowing into its skin. The beast twitched, a low, guttural sound escaping its throat. It was alive, but barely. A man stepped forward. He was thin, his clothes ragged, his hair unkempt. The villagers barely acknowledged him. They knew him only as the drifter, the homeless outcast who had wandered into their town months ago. They mocked him, dismissed him, just another forgotten soul in a world that had no use for the weak. But as he crouched beside the dying animal, his fingers brushing against its diseased fur, something shifted in the air. "You shouldn't touch it," one of the villagers muttered. "It's as good as dead." The man ignored them. His gaze was sharp, calculating. He traced the patterns of the parasites, his mind working faster than his hands. "Not yet," he murmured. "Not if we do this right." The villagers exchanged uncertain glances. Who was he to claim such knowledge? They had never seen him do anything of value. He was nothing, a nobody. But the man knew something they didn't. The parasites weren't just a disease, they were a clue. A sign of something deeper, something buried beneath the surface of this jungle. Something that had remained hidden for years. And he was the only one who understood what it meant. Tension crackled in the air as he worked. The villagers watched in uneasy silence as he crushed herbs into a pungent paste, rubbing it into the leopard's wounds, his hands steady, precise. He moved with purpose, as if he had done this before. As if he had seen something like this before. The night stretched on, the jungle alive with unseen eyes. Something was watching. Something waiting. One of the villagers, emboldened by fear, scoffed. "You think you're some kind of healer. You can't even take care of yourself." The man didn't respond. He didn't need to. The truth was already beginning to unfold before them. The parasites, tiny, grotesque things, began falling away from the leopard's skin, their bodies curling as if something had severed their lifeline. A stunned silence followed. Then a gasp. The leopard stirred. Its breathing, once ragged, began to steady. Its eyes, clouded with pain, flickered with something else, something ancient. Something knowing. "You." One of the villagers swallowed hard. "Who are you?" The man stood, wiping his hands on his torn shirt. His gaze was unreadable, his expression calm. Just someone who understands the cost of being underestimated. A new unease rippled through the crowd. This wasn't just about the leopard anymore. There was something else at play here, something none of them could quite grasp. But the real mystery was just beginning. Deep in the jungle, where no path dared to lead, an old secret lay buried beneath the roots of ancient trees. A secret that had once belonged to a man they had mocked. A secret tied to a fortune lost to time. And as the last parasite fell, the villagers realized too late that they had overlooked the most dangerous creature in the jungle. Not the leopard, not the parasites, but the man who had once been nothing, and was now something far, far more. The night wind carried the rustling of leaves, whispering a warning they could no longer ignore. Because the leopard was not the only thing that had just been saved.